All right, everyone. We're back on Ian's Mark II. Here's Ian, Mr. Zonzo. So, when we last showed up last time, like a few months ago, we had the Mark II almost done, but then we found out we had the wrong head gasket on here. The head gasket we had was from an 8 valve, not from a 2 liter. And we got the right head gasket. Here it is.
Drain holes are different.
Yeah, the coolant line and the oil galley holes are different, but look at this part number. So on Tectonics Tuning, these guys right here, they have a whole write-up on how to do this swap. So it's an 8 valve head with an ABA bottom end. You do need the block-off plate, which is this guy here.
Does not come with Doodle Bob.
It doesn't come with Doodle Bob. And then you'll see here there's a freezer plug that goes down here as well. Okay. Now the next step after you get that installed, you need the distributor from the 8 valve, not from the 2.0. Okay. You need the shaft, the intermediate shaft that goes here that runs along inside the block. You need that from the 8 valve block, not from the 2.0 block. And you're going to run that through. You're going to need the intermediate shaft seal and O-ring that goes around for the cover that sits on the front of this guy. And that's and then the gasket that goes over here. There is on the kit that you get from Tectonics Tuning, there's an adapter plate that is machined for the distributor to fit in the 2.0 block, because the block, it has a larger hole, so it downsizes the hole for you. Once you have that done, we pretty much torque to spec the head. It was like, what, 30 or 40, 90, 90, something like that.
30, 44 Newton meters.
Yeah, 30 Newton meters, 40 Newton meters, and a 90, and then another 90 to get the head put back on. We timed it again. We set the timing on the bottom end. We still had the mark, so that was really quick. On the head, what you want to do to time that quickly, on the cam, you want the 2 lobes on this cylinder right here, in cylinder 1, facing left and right. If those are set left and right, you're timed on the head, and then just put the cam. And then, so this is a non-interference engine. The worst that can happen is that it won't turn on. If it doesn't turn on, figure out where your timing's at, and then rinse and repeat. Currently, you also want to set, when you have those 2 lobes set to left and right, you want the distributor set to cylinder 1, and then you'll have it ready to go. That way it will fire in the right order. If not, just take everything apart, unfortunately, and rinse and repeat. I don't have a good timing video on this setup. Once we get it running, I will walk you guys through thoroughly. That was the previous update, or the last video that we had, was we were at this point where the block and the head were installed, and we're just going to install everything else. We did walk you through on how to time it. We got that information from Ray. But now with the new distributor and everything else, the timing is going to be very, very different.
That's good.
And it's going to be a bit of a pain. But once we get it, we'll walk you guys through that. One cool upgrade that Ian has on this thing is this adjustable bolt here for the alternator. Since you're using an ABA block, the block is actually taller. So the belt that you had originally on this does not fit. However, if you take off, there's a little bolt bracket that sits back here. Take that bolt off right back here. See my finger? There's a bolt that's there. This allows you to move the alternator even further. And then this little adjuster here allows you to get that play you need so the belt can go on. We were able to install that without any modifications whatsoever, just removing stuff. The next issue that we have here, since we have the Fabless Manufacturing cross member, this right here sits a bit tight for the 2.0 block. You'll see here, Ian, right now, we're just putting a piece of hose in it.
Attempting to.
Attempting to. You'll see there, the hose itself, the middle line, literally sits on the bracket, so
flawless quality line.
So that line is going to be difficult to install. That's pretty much it. What's left now is the linkage. Once the linkage is set, we're going to have the wiring to go in. Another problem that we found out, since Ian is using like a different manifold, the cold start injector, this guy right here,
Otherwise known as the 5th injector.
the 5th fuel injector, because it's a 4-cylinder. This guy mounts here on the manifold, and you'll see we don't have a hole for it. The good thing is, if I'm correct, it's a solenoid with no power. It's closed, so that can just sit on the side and be forgotten. We got the axles installed. All that's left now is he's doing the plumbing. He's got a new radiator and fans. He's probably going to do that at home because it's Christmas Eve, by the way. Christmas Eve, Ian.
I'm sorry, I don't have a family.
So he comes to my house and ruins my Christmas
You're welcome.
by us working on his car. I'm glad to help him. I'm super glad. And I'm glad that we actually got the car this far on his Mark II GTI, because this build was strictly to add an extra couple ponies to his build so he can keep up with his class on autocross.
And slightly more torque.
And just needs a bit more torque, yeah.
Gives me like a ball compression or something like that.
And that's pretty much it. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in on this episode of Pinchel's Garage with an update on Ian's Mark II with his ABA bottom end and his 8-valve top end Mark II. Peace out, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.